Alright, citrus trees growing in containers number 3. This month we're seeing a slow decline in flowers, but we'll start off with the pink lemonade tree. It has grown substantially. It's a very long shoot, and the previous video we had a flower on there that just opened up, and now we have the fruit. So that should be interesting. That should start growing very shortly, unless it falls off. And we also have another bud growing as well. So that's very nice. And from the previous video, we also acquired 2 new trees as well. We got the Valencia semi-dwarf orange tree. So that should be nice. Got it in a big container, and yeah, so it didn't really have any new leaves growing, but this week it's barely started growing, as you can see. But yeah, we have the orange Valencia. You can see new buds growing on there. This one's a late blooming variety, so this one gives fruits in the summertime. As you can see, we have more new leaves growing right there. So this one should start growing. It's a fairly small plant. It's actually the smallest within these plants. Moving next to it, we have the Mandarin. The Mandarin has been growing as well. See, we have a lot of flowers on this. It really took off with growth, and I was not expecting it to grow flowers, but as you can see, we have flowers just like that. Very nice and very small. And looking over here, looking very closely, we have little mandarins starting to pop up as well. And on this side as well, you can see flower mandarin. So I wasn't expecting this to really fruit, but this is doing very well just in a container alone. And I will be fertilizing all these citrus trees later tonight once it cools down, and kind of water them since the top layer is a little dry. But we have a ton of rain as well. But you can see all these flowers. Very nice trunk. It's doing very well. Hasn't really dropped any flowers at all yet, but we should see some fruit dropping. Moving on, we have the Meyer Lemon Tree. This one still has a fruit, and I noticed that it is barely starting to ripen. A little bit of yellow right there. I can turn it, and I'll say within a month or two this fruit will be ripe, so we can go ahead and pick that and use that in something. We also have that one, which is also getting ripe as well. And the flowers are starting to subside with this, but you can see we are starting to get more lemons on this. And I say for purpose-wise, we're going to go ahead and leave the blooms or lemons on there and just see how many it can just produce in a year without me taking it off, so it can just focus on growth. But you can see this one needs a little bit more fertilizer because it's starting to lose a bit of its leaves, so I'm going to have to fertilize that as well. And one of the last additions to this container growing series is the Moro Blood Orange. So this is one of my favorite citrus varieties. One of my favorite ones since it's an orange with a berry kick to it. So I'm really hoping we can get some blood oranges, although this one has not bloomed yet, but it has put on a ton of new growth. So see, Moro Blood Orange. Got that at a nursery, and it's looking very nice. And if you haven't noticed what these red tags are for the state of California, there are laws requiring nurseries to actually track citrus because of the disease going around. So the grafting date is right here, 6/10/2021. So this tree is under 2 years old, barely turning 2 in June. So that should be interesting. So this is going to be barely 2-year-old tree. So of course, with it being young, it's not going to really produce much yet. until it gets more established. So yeah. And then lastly, we have the Meyer Lemon Tree, another Meyer Lemon Tree that I got. But what I have been noticing is with all the rain the previous month, we had issues where the flowers will clump up kind of like that, and with the moisture from the rain, it was actually causing falling petals and flowers to actually mold and causing the fruit to drop. And so you can see we have very little fruit on here, but I think we're not going to be getting fruit from this tree yet, although I have high hopes that I'm going to get at least one with all the lemons on this. So let's just hope for that. And you may recall that we had a kaffir lime tree, and I ended up selling that one to a friend for $40, so that one's out of this container growing series. But yeah. And right here we have the pomegranate, mini pomegranate. It's growing well. And yeah, so this is all the citrus varieties I have. As you can see, we have about 6 growing containers. So yeah. Alright, so this is going to conclude this month's update video. So we're seeing that the citrus are stopping or are not flowering anymore, and we're now focusing on fruit. So I'm very excited to see what the Mandarin is going to produce: Meyer Lemon, Blood Orange, and another Meyer Lemon, Valencia Orange, and Pink Lemonade Tree. So we'll see what's going on with these in the next month or so. Definitely with the Mandarin, we'll see if those Mandarin fruits will get bigger, and with the Valencia Orange, we'll see if the flowers will stick. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.